Hey guys, Hailey Lain aka Key Black here with another episode of Off the Cuff. Gonna continue along with the Skyrim topic from last time. This time talking about my second playthrough of Skyrim. This time I was like, alright, this time I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna deliberately make a character to play as, and I'm gonna see if I can actually play through the game playing as that character without getting, without getting too sidetracked doing all the other missions and stuff that I just want to do because I want to do them. Completely mission failed on that front. Although it did take me a while to get to that point. No, this playthrough started as me indulging in my personal cringe but disguising it as a joke. Okay, so for some backstory, I was doing a live drawing stream with some buds over on Picarto, and this was a while ago, but we were talking about a bunch of different things and I started doodling for the night and I was like, alright guys, what should I draw next? Should I draw D&D stuff or should I draw Inspector Gadget? The answer was of course both, so I ended up kind of coming up with like a design for what Inspector Gadget might look like if you made him as a D&D character in a medieval setting. And it very rapidly became its own character who I named Wesker Sloan. Originally I had designed him to be kind of this, overzealous guardsman type of guy, but he rapidly devolved into just my favorite kinds of character. Left pretty much all the Inspector Gadget stuff in the dust and he became Wesker Sloan, this really aggressive, very sneaky kind of character who, tentatively on the side of justice, doing the good quest, but he wasn't above doing like really underhanded things to get to the ends that he thought were justified. I think it would be more appropriate to call him a thug who is currently cooperating with the side of justice as a bounty hunter, because it's easier to make money that way than it is to steal it. But when I was designing this character, I very quickly found out that the default options for designing your character in Skyrim were not sufficient to capture the look of the face that I wanted to create. So I installed a whole bunch of cosmetic mods. I tried to avoid all like the K-pop, J-pop hairstyle stuff and tried to keep it to the tone of the original Skyrim vibe, And so I ended up with a totally new character who looked absolutely nothing like Inspector Gadget. The only thing that still resembled the original concept was like, okay, he's got these, I'm gonna imagine that he has these magical enchanted prosthetics that allow him to use specifically electricity magic. Eventually I just nixed the prosthetic part and just had it be enchanted armor. And otherwise he's gonna pretty much exclusively be this dual wielding one-handed weapon melee guy. And again, of course, me sticking to that lasted for all of maybe, 3 missions before I started getting into sneaky archer. But it was really fun because with this kind of character playstyle, I ended up doing a lot of the missions that I had missed out on the first time, like doing all the, the cult-related missions where you could kind of infiltrate a cult and then destroy it from the inside out. But I very quickly discovered that a lot of the mods that I had installed were not just cosmetic mods, but they also came with a whole bunch of story and like gameplay-altering mods. And so I ended up encountering a whole bunch of these alternative homes you can find throughout the game, custom missions, custom characters, things like that. It was seriously impressive finding out just how much work people have put into the mods for this game over the years. A lot of them are really impressive, and like if you had just presented the game to me with these things intact, I never would have really been able to tell the difference. It's sort of to the point where I have to wonder exactly how many of the missions that I've played through on this playthrough are actually in the original Skyrim, because of course I never played the game to 100% completion. I don't actually know where the division is. I think that's what I love so much about Skyrim though, is that, even on its very base form, it's a very meditative experience. You go in, you kind of play this character as you imagine it, but you're experiencing this world and kind of projecting how you'd be interacting with this world as well. It really ended up being an intensely personal experience for me, kind of this mental playground, I can totally understand why people have put so much love and effort into this game and modding it over the years. I got really attached to the characters as I was playing through. I got really attached to the character I ended up making, and if you guys have seen my website or my Tumblr, you might actually recognize Wesker as a character that I have then taken and kind of brought him into my own, personal art. You'll see him on the tab labeled The Knight, the Princess, and the Brigand. So if you want to know just how indulgent I got with it, go ahead and take a look. But while I haven't really taken the time to draw any of the characters that exist in the Skyrim game on its own, they were all really charming. There's so much exploration you can do, but there's also so many character interactions you can have. And while there's like decidedly evil things to do and decidedly good things to do in the game, I also like how complex the characters are. Like Daedra and gods aside in the game, there's no character that's pure evil or pure good. Even the characters who are making decisions that you really don't agree with, you can kind of sympathize with them, That's actually the main reason why I want to try doing the Imperial Legion at some point, because I do like the Imperial Guards quite a lot. I'll still go through these phases where I just kind of pick up Skyrim and I end up like sinking a whole bunch of hours into it before I back out and go like, oh my god, I've been playing for how long? And I haven't even really touched the larger lore from the Elder Scrolls franchise otherwise it's pretty much only about like the individual character interactions for me. But occasionally some bit of plot will be dropped here and I'll recognize it from somebody else mentioned that thing over there, and then I'll go look it up on the Elder Scrolls wiki, and before I know it, 3 more hours have passed. I've actually asked my buddy Andrew, who's also a huge fan of the Elder Scrolls lore, to join me for an off-the-cuff episode pretty soon to talk about exactly that. So guys, I'm gonna cut the episode off here. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again.